It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early and it is a marvelous Monday, and it's marvelous because you're up with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner, wishing a happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, everybody. It's the start of the week, but it's the end of the month. May has come and gone.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that.
Where are 5 months in the year gone?
It's gone, right? It has evaporated like the little bit of rain that fell over the past weekend, because when the sun came out, now that evaporated and it was humid. It was muggy, boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's the, you sweat and the sweat don't evaporate. You're just walking around with a nice greasy sheen on you. Yes, that is muggy. But we appreciate the rain. It was a good little break in the heat, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was a kind of a running joke at church on Sunday. A special congratulations to everybody who made it out, who still made the effort, despite the rain, because we know what we as Bahamians tend to do when it's raining. And so we're going to have to keep that.
Official rain days, man. It's too rainy to do anything. Let's just shut it down. Let's shut it down. But the plants are happy that rain came down, and so you're going to see flowers blooming. You're going to see those fruits start popping, those summer fruits. So I'm so thankful for that rain, thankful for the sun, but I think it's going to get hotter, so we got to find out from Brother Godfrey. Summer's kicking off. June 1st is right there. Started the hurricane season, so we're back in the swing, folks. You know all the things we need to do in preparation for hurricane season. It's not just about summer vacations, but we got to be prepared. And I think we're going to have a busy season, so I'll leave that to Godfrey to let everybody know what's up, right?
Yes, we're going to trust the professionals.
Yeah, we'll trust the professionals.
Because my iPhone prediction didn't work out.
It was cooler in the AC by 5 degrees.
Right, exactly. It was cooler in my house by 5 degrees.
But TCL invites you to register for the first Turks and Caicos Island Business Outlook. Is happening June 7th, and also the Andros Business Outlook happening June 27th. We're going back to Andros, everybody, and we go into Turks and Caicos for the first time. So excited about that. You got to register. Visit tclevents.com or contact Alicia Green here at the studios at 322-1000. We've got a great show for you today. It's Monday, it's the end of May, and we'll be hearing about an upcoming LPIA job fair where you can find out all the latest information on jobs and potential career opportunities. We're going to take a look at Joey Gaskins' presentation at the Eleuthera and Harbor Island Business Outlook. And we'll also be discussing the Electricity Act in our Economic Pulse segment.
We'll also be talking about benign prostatic hyperplasia in our Urology Care segment. Kevin Demeritte and Gowon Bowe are also here to tell us about the Live Fast, Pay Digital campaign. But now we're going to check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Get on.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Davriel, and good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise. High pressure dawn with the future across the islands. We still have a slight troughing across the central islands, Exuma, Cat Island, and San Salvador this morning, and that should trigger off a couple of showers in those areas for the most part. But today, partly sunny, hot, and humid, and yes, there's a chance of a couple of showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm, mainly in the central Bahamas, your high temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies and still on the muggy side. Your low going down to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 91 and 80. In Jamaica 92 and 80. In Trinidad 92 and 77. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 88 and 75. Across North America, Atlanta 86 and 60. In Boston 70 and 57. In Miami 92 and 76. Dallas, Texas 89 and 68. And Toronto, Canada 70 and 56. As you go the week, look like you're in a high pressure going to continue to downweight, but a weak frontal boundary will move into the area. Slight chance of 1-2 showers along that frontal boundary should fizzle out by Thursday in the islands, And so we're still going to have those warm temperatures, humid conditions, and a slight chance of an afternoon shower, maybe a thunderstorm popping up. The temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the mid to upper 70s. That puts her up in first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Is there something on my face? Thanks, Godfrey. Benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, is a common condition where the prostate gland enlarges, typically affecting men as they age. Dr. Greggory Pinto, urologist at Urology Care Bahamas, is with me now to tell us more. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning to my daughter, Gia.
Yes.
So yes, benign prostate hyperplasia, it's an inevitable enlargement of your prostate that's related to age. You can't prevent it. If you're blessed with advanced stage, it's going to happen to you to some degree or another. It even starts in your 40s, but up into your 50s, maybe 50% of men, in your 60s, about 60% of men, and then in the 70s, probably 80 or more percent of men are going to have some amount of an obstructive urinary stream. You're going to have urinary urgency, frequency. You're going to be waking up a lot in the night all of a sudden to pee. You're going to have dribbling when you think you finish emptying your bladder. Even during the day, you might be going every hour, on the hour. As soon as you drink something, you got to go and urinate because you're just never able to empty because the opening of the bladder is closed off by the tissue growing in front of it. So it's nothing that you need to be worried about. In fact, you just need to deal with it. And there are medications that can effectively get you urinating like a young man again. In fact, there are 2 lines of medication. One, in fact, can allow you to not only empty your bladder, the other one also helps you empty your bladder, but get your erections like a young man again. So you can be taking 2 medications, urinating like an 18-year-old, erections like an 18-year-old when you're 70 years old. So stop suffering needlessly. I mean, too many men, their normal is actually very abnormal. They're used to waking up 5 times in the night to urinate. They're used to stop drinking at 6 p.m. because if they know if they drink beyond that, they're going to be waking up 10 times in the night. They're going to the point of driving around with a cup because they know they never can even find a bathroom or pull over to the side of the road. That's not the way to live. Then we go to the opposite, the other extreme. Some people think, oh, they're fine. I only got to urinate once a day. That in itself is very worrisome. That means that you're not emptying your bladder at all, and your bladder has become so stretched and so enlarged that you've lost the sensation of bladder filling. So listen to your body. You know what it was like when you were younger. If there's been a change in some way in terms of you're not emptying your bladder or you're not urinating as often as you should, and you should be urinating on average every 3 hours, every 4 hours, maybe waking up once or twice in the night. 2 is the threshold. You don't want to have to wake up more than twice. But the good news is medication is usually effective for many, many years. Some men get decades out of the medication, but your prostate will continue to grow, slowly but surely. It reaches a threshold where even the medication is not very effective. Once that happens, the good news is there are many minimally invasive procedures that we can do painlessly. It may take 40 minutes, it may take 60 minutes, all as an outpatient. All of modern urology is minimally invasive. There are as many as 9 minimally invasive procedures that we can employ that allows you to be peeing like a young man. And once we do that, average time it takes for that prostate to grow back is maybe 25 years. So in essence, when you're 60 and we do this, it usually takes care of you for the rest of your life.
Why is it, if you may, an eventuality? Why does every man's prostate grow as he ages?
There are many theories about that, but the number one is that they think that as you get older, your prostate continues to get bigger, bigger, bigger. It's actually, you can think of in terms of every cell in their body, there's cell death and there's cell replication, new cell production. As we get older, the rate that our cells in our prostate grow is actually the same. It's that the cell death rate slows down. So the cumulative effect is slowly but surely your prostate's going to get larger. So it's not as if as you get older your prostate increases exponentially in terms of the rate it grows. It's that the cell death rate actually slows down. But as I said, no cutting, no stitches, no pain afterwards, no recovery, completely minimally invasive. You're up and about like nothing happened. And in a 40-minute procedure, that next hour you're urinating, you could be urinating like an 18-year-old hitting the wall with a power that you've never seen in decades.
How does someone determine whether, I know you mentioned there's several options, and I think you said up to 9 procedure options.
Correct.
So between the medication option versus one of those 9 procedures, how does somebody determine what approach is right for them?
Well, the first line is always medication. And we need to ascertain, is it in fact your prostate that's enlarged that's causing the problem? There are other issues that can happen. It may be non-obstructive causes that might be causing that. It may be that you're a diabetic that's not well controlled, or undiagnosed diabetic, for example, that it's infected the nerves that allow you to empty your bladder. It allows you to feel that when your bladder is full. You develop what we call a diabetic cystopathy, where no matter what, you're just not emptying your bladder. And that has nothing to do with obstructive cause like your prostate. You may develop a urethral stricture, a scarring within your pee pipe. But statistically speaking, if you're middle-aged, for the most part, it's almost certainly because of a benign enlargement of your prostate. Also, you have to be concerned, always get your prostate screening with a simple blood test every year from the age of 40, because even prostate cancer, although we always say prostate cancer has little to no symptoms when it's at an early stage, but you can have obstructive symptoms, urinary symptoms from prostate cancer as well. So we can do green light laser, we can do photo light vaporization, we can do bipolar transurethral resection of prostate, we can do Resume, which is a steam to just basically vaporize your prostate tissue. We can use water ablation. We can do employ devices that basically pull aside the obstructing prostate, like Urolift. So there are many things that can be done. I've done each one of them hundreds of times. In fact, I have a subspecialty just in prostate minimally invasive resection from Germany. So you don't have to go away to get first-line care. That's why I spent years of my life traveling the world trying to study under the experts in the field so that you can get world-class care right here at home in the privacy and confidentially of an environment where no one needs to know your business. You're in and out like nothing happened.
And if somebody wants, if they're listening, they're realizing, okay, you know, I thought something was wrong with me, or I thought it was just me, and clearly this is happening to everybody else. How do they get into contact with you? How do they, you know, start that process of treatment?
Oh, well, I have a website, urologycarebahamas.com, and my main office is at Oak Tree Medical Center, which is 5th Terrace and Mount Royal Avenue. And the number there is 322-1145 or 6.
All right, and give the gentlemen who are watching a final encouragement to deal with this now rather than later when it's much more complicated.
Well, you know your body. Stop living in ignorance. Stop trying to basically treat yourself. Stop using Google as your doctor. You know that you shouldn't be driving around with a cup to urinate. You know that you shouldn't be waking up 5 times a night to urinate. You know you shouldn't be at the toilet bowl for 2 minutes just to initiate a stream. Listen to your body. Don't have that fear that something is wrong. Even if it's a big problem like waking up 10 times a night, we can give you medication to stop you waking up at all.
I love it. Thank you so much for educating me and the public this morning.
It's always a pleasure. Knowledge is key.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
How important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Get ready for the first ever Turks and Caicos Islands Business Outlook, June 7th at the beautiful Beaches Resort. Our theme is opportunities for growth and inclusion for all TCI stakeholders. Don't miss the keynote address by Premier the Honorable Charles Washington Missing. Join discussions about tourism, infrastructure, and housing. Join thought leaders from various sectors to discuss the future of TCI's economy. Network over lunch and seize opportunities for growth. Register now at tclevents.com and secure your ticket for this groundbreaking event.
Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Welcome back. The Lynden Pindling International Airport, in conjunction with the Department of Labor, is hosting a job fair, and it's happening Wednesday, and that's this Wednesday, May 29th. And here to tell us all about it is our great friend, Charlotte K. Knowles-Thompson. She is a marketing coordinator, and she works with the Nassau Airport Development Company. Good morning, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. How are you?
We are doing great. We're so
Awesome.
happy for you to be here. Whenever you're in the room, there's opportunities about it, whether it's going off to school, like going to get that degree. But today we're talking about LPIA and their job fair.
Yes.
So first tell us, what is NAD's relationship to LPIA?
Well, Lynden International Airport is the national gateway to the Bahamas.
Right.
And so the Nassau Airport Development Company manages the Lynden International Airport. It is 100% owned by the government of the Bahamas.
Oh.
But we manage the day-to-day operations of the airport.
And what's that like? I mean, for us travelers, I know it's probably a lot to explain. For us travelers,
Yeah.
we show up, we expect our ticketing agents to be there, for our bags to get on the plane, for us to walk on, arrive safely. But what really happens
It
behind
goes,
the scenes?
I mean, we have stakeholders. Everybody plays a role in the day-to-day operation. We are led by Bernice Walking, of course, our incomparable president and CEO. And we have the relationship of everybody. Everybody plays a role in a smooth operation, daily operation, and we're growing.
Right.
We are growing, and so that's why this job fair came about, because we see the demand. We need workforce. We need more workforce.
So tell us a little bit about the job fair, and once again, why are you hosting it?
Yes, because like I said, we're growing. And we have stakeholders, and our job as the managers to ensure that they have what they need to operate efficiently and effectively.
Right.
Yeah. And so we will be hosting the job fair on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, at the National Training Agency. And I checked the stats before I came here, and so far we have about 450 persons registered. Yes.
So tell me, when I think about a job fair and I'm thinking about the Lynden Pindle International Airport, just give me the sweep. I'm sure there's hundreds of jobs at the airport, but just tell me, what are some of the career paths that people can find, some of the areas they can be interested in, just what's going to be represented there?
And so we've been dealing with our concessions first, and these are stores within the airport,
Right.
Okay, that help make your transition smooth.
Right.
We ask you to come to the airport 3 hours ahead of your travel time to get through the security, to get through all the pre-board screening, and then you have time to just relax.
Right.
The airport is a mini mall, believe it or not.
Yes, it is.
And so you can shop, you can dine, and you can relax while you wait for your plane.
Right.
So we need team members on the ground who understand that tourism is everybody's business, right? And 65 cents of every dollar kind of goes back into the economy. So we want to ensure that when our people come, then the first stop there, the LPIA is the first stop and the last stop.
Exactly.
And the experience has to be great.
Yes.
It has to be great because we want them to come back.
Right.
And so during this job fair, we have about 18 companies that will be present.
Right.
And I just want to name, I brought my list because I don't
Let's
want
go. We don't wanna miss
I don't
them,
want
right?
to leave out anybody, okay? We're going to have 700 wines and spirits.
All right.
Caribbean Lighthouse,
Dunkin', KFC, My Ocean, Nassau Duty Free, the Pat Mall group of companies, and under that umbrella comes Rhythm Cafe, Keys News, Bootleggers, and Palmer Pizzeria, right? We have Quiznos, Rum Runners, Sensi Aroma Bar, Starbucks, Suntime Bahamas, Sushi Rokan, and Wendy's.
Wow.
That's about 18 companies.
That sounds like a mall right there.
Exactly. I'm telling you, and this isn't even all of them. This isn't even all, right? And out of this job fair, these are the positions that will be available.
let's hear 'em.
Okay, bartenders, shop attendants, store clerks, customer service representatives, cashiers, crew members, maintenance, baristas, servers. You see, everybody should be walking over the job, right?
I know, right?
Hostesses, salesperson, cooks, bussers, pizza cooks, inventory clerks, shop supervisor, team leaders. We have delivery drivers, preferably men. But you know, come on, a woman.
We ain't discriminating, right? Anybody can apply, right?
You understand? You can lift that bag. Listen, girl,
Let's
you
go.
go apply for that girl power, right?
Yeah,
And bakery
exactly.
crew.
Wow.
The jobs are endless. We want you to come with an attitude, a positive attitude. Walk with your document, because understand the airport is a sterile environment, meaning the security level is extremely high.
Yes.
You have to go through several levels of security vetting before
Right.
you're on board.
Right.
Walk with your documentation, but by no means do not come if you don't have them.
Right.
You understand?
That's very basic. Bring your ID.
Bring your
you know.
ID, bring your passport, bring your photos, your resume. Come prepared to talk and to speak and sell yourself to these companies.
Right.
The opportunity is there,
Right.
and we are facilitating it for you. Come with a positive attitude. Know that you want to be a part of the team,
Right.
and you're going to make a positive difference. And so we're looking for excited people.
And you know, who apart from being excited and you know, persons with a great attitude, who should come? Like, who's the person that wants to come and work at the LPIA and work with any of those companies?
Yes,
that you
like I
just
said,
mentioned?
we want persons with positive attitude who want to make a difference. Don't think about, oh, it's only a cook. No, you are contributing to the success of your nation. Think about it on a big scale. Okay, all of us play a role in this tourism industry, all of us. And so you want to make a difference. Everybody should, if over the age of 18,
Yep.
you're legal, you have a passport, you
Yep.
can work, because like I said, you have to pass through security vetting.
Right.
Okay.
So for someone, let's say I'm 18, I'm just coming out of high school. This is probably like my first job. Maybe I'm a little nervous. What kind of advice do you give to job seekers coming to the job fair?
Well, you have to be mature enough, have a reliable transportation, because the airport is just not across the road. Yeah, you got to get to work.
Right.
If you commit to accepting the job, you have to be able to get there. And so if you're 18 and you're mature, we want someone a little older, but we're not going to turn away anybody. We
Right.
just want people who are very serious, who are going to be committed and respond to our passengers, because that's truly, listen, after the pandemic, you know, all of us should we have an attitude of gratitude,
Yeah.
you know, to make a difference and to ensure that, you know, tourism remains number one.
And you get in where you can, you know, do what you can
Yeah.
with what you can.
Exactly.
Join the team. Just tell us again, why should I want to work at LPIA and, you know, with the team that's there?
Because we are no ordinary airport.
All right.
You understand? We contribute to the GDP of the Bahamas. We have over 3,500 staff members.
Wow.
And over 600,000 square feet of terminals. So there's something there for everybody.
Awesome.
So come prepared to be hired.
If I want to find out more information about the job fair, how can I do that?
Well, on our social media pages, Nassau LPIA is on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you can click on the link. There's a barcode register. We want you to pre-register. That'll help expedite the process, because like I
Yes.
said, 450 people already registered. We want
Yeah.
to get you through the process. We want you to interview with all of the companies. Don't just come and say, oh, I only want to see this person. No.
No.
You know,
It's like speed
you can
dating.
open it.
It's like speed dating for a job.
Listen,
So just like a date, make sure you dress up, you smell nice.
Exactly.
Make sure you prepare. You look over your notes and be
prepare
ready.
yourself.
Be open and
Be
transparent.
wow those interviews. Come
Well-
prepared to get a job.
Well, I am wild because there's so much opportunity and people talking about there's no jobs and there's no. I could even go get myself a little side gig, right? When I leave, I go straight to the airport and go to work.
Let's talk
But we
afterwards.
appreciate we appreciate you being there, Charlotte. Always
pleasure.
great things when you're around. Opportunities abounding.
Thank
Give yourself a
you.
wonderful day and have a successful job
Thank
fair
you
this
so
Wednesday.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome back. With me now to talk about the Live Fast Pay Digital campaign are Gowon Bowe, Chief Executive Officer, Fidelity Bank Bahamas Limited, and Kevin Demeritte, External Relations Officer at the Governor's Office at the Central Bank of the Bahamas. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
So this is quite the title, Live Fast Pay Digital. What is the Live Fast Pay Digital campaign all about?
To begin with, this is all part of a long-term project by the Central Bank and the Clearing Banks Association to advance payment systems in Bahamas. It's called the Payment System Modernization Initiative. And really it's to continue to improve the way we pay for goods and services throughout the country going forward. The Live Fast Pay Digital campaign is really intended to enhance what we already know. That as a country, the way we pay for goods and services is developing, is evolving, is advancing. And as we begin to move forward, some of the old forms in which we've been paying for goods and services naturally are going to slow down and fall away. So all this is doing is reminding us about what we already know.
And I just add, I think we sometimes fear the unknown. And so when we have heard about digitization and modernization, it immediately goes to, well, you're taking something away from me, as opposed to thinking about it. If we go to biblical days, we're exchanging silver coins or pieces, and then we move to paper money, and then we move to actually having a bank account, a passbook, an ATM card. So as things continue to evolve, I think the Live Fast, some may say, boy, what you mean by that in this Bahamian vernacular, but it's about our fast-paced lives. That when you think about it, you pull up to do a valet, you pull up to buy something out of the grocery store. You're not, how annoyed do you sometimes get when someone is in front of you
and taking an old form of payment, particularly when you're used to saying that I can easily do so in a digital manner. And so I think it's more about us now as a grouping, educating persons that you don't have to fear the unknown. And maybe the fault that we had was a view that everyone would naturally see. And now we have to go through a proper education, which I think is a spoonful of sugar helping the medicine go down.
When you talk about digital, that could be a little nebulous. You could be talking about credit cards, you could be talking about online transfers, you could be talking about Sand Dollar. What are you referring to when you're talking about paying digital with this campaign?
Well, digital is really any form of payment that doesn't involve the physical cash or a physical payment instrument. So you know you're not longer holding paper in your hand, or you're not longer writing a check. So yes, it's your credit card, it's your debit card, it's your online banking, it's your ATM. It's all of these forms that we use regularly, but we don't really think of as digital. Because we hear digital and we think technology and we think, oh, I don't know. But we do this all the time. You know, for a long time now, we've been getting on our laptops and our tablets and making online purchases, digital payments. We transfer funds between ourselves all the time, digital payments. We use our credit cards, debit cards. In fact, we've begun, a lot of people don't realize that there was a time when nobody had debit cards. They were completely unknown, and credit cards were all US based. And persons had to come to the central bank every month to get a dollar card to make their credit card payments.
Wow.
And now we have not only, we went from the magnetic stripe to tap and pay, you know, and you know, it's that evolution. You know, when you think about it now, and checks used to be really the dominant form of non-cash payments in the country. But people don't realize where we got to checks. Because it used to be, and not too long ago, but maybe Gowon will remember these times, when we used to get paid in little brown pay envelopes every Friday. And then there was a major change when everybody started getting paid with checks, and you line up at the bank 5 o'clock on a Friday to cash your checks. And in fact, banks had to stay open late on Friday for that very purpose. You know, banks will close at 3 o'clock Monday to Thursday. Friday they stay open till 5. Banks don't do it anymore because people don't get paid with checks anymore. As soon as you get your first job, they're gonna ask you what's your bank account, because your money's being paid directly into your bank account. Online banking, digital payments, we just didn't know it by those words.
And I was only going to say, and when we think about it, we want banking to be more value add. The run-of-the-mill transactions that you can do. You know, we always smile and say when we go to the US, we know how to buckle up, but in the Bahamas, we don't. You know, wherever we tend to be forced, we do so. So this is more taking it from the perspective, well, not force, but embrace. Physical forms have so many elements of fraud. You think about having cash in your pocket, it can drop out, it can be stolen. You think about you having the checks and persons forging your signature, having modifications, etc. And as we move to these digital elements, they're embedded biometrics. So you're using your phone with passwords, your fingerprint, your facial recognition, online banking, dual-factor authentication. Annoying, but protecting. And so as we move and evolve, and Kevin mentioned the tap and pay, but it's the chip technology. In terms, you see the little chip that everyone is conspiracy theorists has all my data in it. But yes, it's designed to protect you against what I'm going to say nefarious activities and actually sometimes loss. Dropping the money on the ground, it's gone. Dropping your card, make a phone call, it's canceled, and you have the reestablishment.
Obviously, this is a very important message that you're trying to get across to the public, and again, a public that may not always be receptive. What are some ways that you're getting this message across to live fast and pay digital?
So the campaign begins today with a press conference this morning at 10 at the Central Bank. But that's just to kick off the campaign. What you're going to see over the next 2 years is the length of the campaign initially. You're going to see the newspaper ads, radio, TV commercial, town halls, and particularly in the Family Islands, because the Family Islands are important to us because there's been a sort of drawback in banking services in the Family Islands. And electronic banking and digital payment services is going to be crucial, not only for those less served communities, but also help recovery if there's ever a storm that affects these communities and the unavailability of cash thereafter. So the idea is that we're going to have a number of events going on for the next 2 years, really highlighting the way we know payments are evolving in this country, the way things are developing, and just reminding persons about things that they know.
Right. And I'd only end by saying it's a collaborative effort. So you see the clearing banks, but you also have the insurance entities, you have the money transfer businesses, you have the Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, and you have a number of persons or groupings with the intention of it being, like I said, not us versus them, but this is our payment system, our mechanism for how we do things, and how do we work collectively in order to make it more efficient and protect all.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in and telling all of us about this initiative to take Bahamians into the future.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise, an update early on another marvelous Monday, and it's the end of May, and it's the mid-show, and you stuck with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Demeritte Gardner, wishing you a happy Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the first half of the show. I'm going to go back to weather. It's going to be hot, right? But I did look at that image again about the warmer than normal sea surface temperatures. There's this image of the belt coming from the coast of Africa, across the Atlantic, through most of the Caribbean, up through the Bahamas. And so we may have a more than active hurricane season. So I'm just going to reiterate it again, folks.
Get prepared.
It's time to get prepared. So before you think about spending that money on that summer vacation, remember we got to stock up. Stock up on all the supplies that you remember you need, the little repair you needed to do to those doors, those windows, the shutter. Stock up on water from now. Have those relationships with your neighbors. Have some sort of emergency plan. All the things that you wish you have done, you would have done when you were in the middle of an emergency. Now's the time to prepare.
I love that. That's a good word of caution.
Just wanted to say that again.
Get ready.
Fun and goodness. But get ready, folks.
Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready at the last minute.
Say that again.
As we sometimes do.
Say that again.
Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready at the last minute.
Bing. Stay ready. And I can let God forgive you all the scientific reasons why we got to stay ready. But yeah, man, we're going to make sure everybody is safe and prepared. We've got more coming up in our second half. Our friend Karlos Mackey is here to discuss the Electricity Act in our Economic Pulse segment.
I feel like today's show is just really educational all around. But we're also going to be taking a look at Joey Gaskins Jr.'s presentation at the Eleuthera and Harbor Island Business Outlook. But before all that, we're going to take our second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, and these guys are talking about hurricane season. It starts in the next 5 days, so it's 5 days to the big show, the hurricane season. And yes, Mark, the red that you see now, the sea surface temperature is 1.5 degrees, and so therefore it's going to be some hot sea surface temperatures, meaning that we have a very active hurricane season. In your tropical weather look, the tropic this morning is quiet, and tropical storm formation is not expected during the next 7 days. The local scene, though, we do have high pressure that dominates the weather across the islands. Little troughing on the central Bahamas could trigger up pockets of some showers, even like say thunderstorm today. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and the chance of a couple of showers. In your marine forecast today, winds light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet in all the areas. And then on Tuesday, continue light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet in northwest and central Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet. Over the southeastern islands. Then on Wednesday, ahead of a little weak frontal boundary, those winds south to southwest at 10 knots or less, seas 1 to 3 feet in northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide 11:17 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 5:17 this evening. High gain tonight at 11:45. Sunset 7:52 this evening. Rising at 6:21. UV index 8, your water temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit, and the moon phase. Now moving towards the last quarter. Your external load, high pressure will continue to dominate the wind across the islands, although that weak frontal boundary, little no weather associated with will pass through on Thursday. The temperature daytime will continue to be in the upper 80s at daytime, at nighttime in the mid to upper 70s. That pressure up in your follow good weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Thanks, Godfrey. During the Eleuthera Business Outlook, Joey Gaskins, Regional Director of Public Affairs with Disney Cruise Lines, delivered an engaging presentation highlighting how the brand is growing, attracting, and retaining talent. Here's the presentation now.
The Disney Lighthouse Point project in Eleuthera is nearing completion with plans for guest arrivals in June. Joseph Gaskins, Regional Director of Public Affairs, Disney Cruise Line, gave an update on the project at Eleuthera Business Outlook recently.
For those of you who don't know, we're building a project in South Eleuthera, right? We intend to open, and our first sailing is on June 7th. So the first ship will arrive at Lighthouse Point alongside on June 7th, you know, hoping that the weather and the seas are fine, right? If you don't know, we bought 900 acres of private property on the southernmost tip of the island. 25% of that acreage we are donating back to the government and the people of the Bahamas. 192 acres we give back to the government and the people of the Bahamas. 59% of that acreage will remain undeveloped and untouched. And at this point, I can confirm that although we committed to 16% development on the property, we are coming in at less than 16% development. So it is a very low impact development. At the end of the day, though, if we intend to expand over the next few years, we've committed to not developing over 20% of the property.
His focus was on growing Disney's brand while attracting local talent.
So we're talking about growing our brand at Disney, and Disney is a brand, right? It is one of the most iconic brands in the world. It is global, and it spans everything from sports, because, you know, we own ESPN, right, to parks, gaming, consumer products, licensing, right, as well as content production. If you're not on Disney Plus, please sign up. We appreciate that, right? But it is a massive brand, and the question becomes, how does one sustain that brand across a myriad of platforms, across a number of segments, different businesses, right? From an HR perspective, this is the first thing you learn when you come to work for Disney. It is our 5 keys. This is the 5 keys to our success. It protects our brand because an important part of our brand is our cast members. We are not employees at Disney. We are all cast members. Look at Key, Show. We are always performing. So we are cast members at Disney, right? But our cast members drive the brand. They support it, right? They protect it. And we ensure that they understand that responsibility through these 5 keys. 1, safety first, right? Safety is key. whether we're on a construction site or in the parks or on the cruise ship, we are really, really focused on safety. One of the things that you may have seen here in the community a few months back is that our Disney team, as well as American Bridge and ISD, held a safety fair for construction workers here on the island, right? We believe, excuse me, that safety is not just something that we do at Disney, but that we also share with the communities in which we're involved, right? Courtesy. Nobody wants to do business with a rude mouse. We are a nice mouse, right? We are a happy-go-lucky mouse. And so courtesy is key and very important to us. Inclusion, which undergirds all of these keys. We want to create a space and a place where everyone is welcome, right? And that is key for us. As well as that show, like I said, we are always performing, we are always in character, we understand what role we are playing, and we don't break character, right, as long as we are at work. And finally, efficiency. Efficiency in the way that we work, but also in the way that we use space, right? In the way that our businesses operate, so that we have as low an impact as possible, but also so that we get as much out of the work that we do as possible. As far as the HOA commitments are concerned, we were to ensure that a minimum of 120 Bahamians will be employed directly during the construction project, right? We were to create approximately 150 permanent, well-paying jobs for Bahamians once we went to operation. We were to offer employment positions to Bahamians that encompass the full breadth, right? So not just working on the beach, not just reception, but the full breadth of positions. We wanted to ensure that these employment opportunities for Bahamians were adequately publicized, right? We committed to providing health benefits, to developing and training professional programs, right? To assist in the development and implementation of courses of study, particularly around hospitality, to encourage the training of Bahamians with vocational and technical skills, and finally to collaborate with the LJM Maritime Academy.
His focus was on growing Disney's brand while attracting local talent.
So I don't know if you've been watching the news updates around the site, but we shared some construction photos. This is one photo of our True 2 barbecue dining pavilion. And I want you to take a look at the artwork underneath the pavilion there, right? One of the things that we're really, really excited about is how much Bahamian art has been produced for this site. And it's not just hanging up on walls around the site, but it's integrated into the architecture of the site itself. We've worked with 8 prolific Bahamian artists, some from here in Eleuthera, some from New Providence and around the Bahamas. Everything from tiles and ceramic to awnings and fabric like this will be touched by Bahamian artists across the site, right? We promised, as you will remember, 120 construction jobs. We more than tripled that, and we currently have 600 Bahamians working on site right now to finish up this project. Along with the amount of employees, we've not just used this opportunity to give them a job, but we've put in more than 5,800 hours of training for these construction workers, right? So everything from OSHA 10 to safety, first aid, CPR, we're preparing them for their next gig, all right? As well as that, we have maintained an 80% balance between Bahamian and foreign workers throughout the life of the project, as we've committed to in the HOA as well. And I'm very happy that we're at this place right now in the development, but we will be opening with an all Bahamian leadership team. So everyone from island director to every manager on site will be Bahamian, and we're very, very proud of that work, right?
Gaskins shared some details on construction at Lighthouse Point and the Bahamians employed on the project.
We will be graduating our first cohort out of a program that we call the Leading Light program. And this is something that we are so proud of at Disney. We're the first cruise line to do something of this kind. It is a partnership with the University of the Bahamas' Continuing Learning and Education Department to provide industry standard soft skills and leadership skills, as well as job readiness courses for people here in Eleuthera. Tourism and hospitality basic skills, hospitality leadership, because a Bahamian tourism industry should be managed and run by Bahamians, right? I think far too often we look at the smaller positions, which are important, but we also need to train Bahamians for management positions as well, because we can lead. And that is one of the things that we wanted to do here, as well as employment communications. We are not the only project in Eleuthera. More is coming. We didn't do this as a pipeline for our HR team. We did this to support the local community. We will get some folks from this program, but that was not the idea. We want to prepare Eleutherans for all the opportunities coming to Eleuthera. We have 3 cohorts. The spring cohort is graduating this year. Summer will start in a couple of months, and then a fall. We included a cost of living stipend. Y'all know how expensive it is to drive from Hatchet Bay down here? You do, right? It can be an obstacle for people who want to better themselves. So the question was, how could we support these folks in their learning, right? And one of the ways that we believe that we could do that is be arranged for a pay card that we could upload something for them, right? And that way, if you have living expenses, if you got to drive down here, if you may need childcare for your kid for the after-hour class, this will allow you to do that while you better yourself, right?
For Bahamas at Sunrise, this is Kari Albury. The Disney Lighthouse Point project in Eleuthera is nearing completion with plans for guest arrival.
Thanks for sticking with us on Bahamas at Sunrise. With me now to discuss the Electricity Act 2024 is our good friend Karlos Mackey. He's an Executive Director and President of MoneyMax and President of Prime Financing. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise, Brother Karlos.
Good morning, Mark. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, always a pleasure being here. Learn so much. We're talking about the BPL Electricity Act. Tell us exactly what is it?
Well, I think this is an attempt, obviously, by the current administration to try to I guess we can say, rectify some of the issues, obviously, that we're facing with BPL. You have a lot of people that are upset because load management, load shedding would have begun a couple of weeks
the
ago.
evil words, don't even say it.
I know. So we're only in May, but we've already begun load shedding. So obviously, there is an attempt by the government to deal with some of the supply issues in terms of diversification of supply. Right now, we're primarily using what we would call diesel, heavy diesel, bunker seat, dirty fuel. And I think this is an attempt to diversify the supply of the fuel sources for BPL, along with some other things.
Speaking of diversifying the supply, so renewable energy has been a hot topic. How does having access to renewable energy and incorporating that into our generation and distribution system, how does that increase resilience of our electricity supply?
So I think that really and truly, this really should be the discussion that we're having, how far along the renewable energy transition we are, which is not very far along. And it's actually quite shameful because we're a country that sees roughly around 350 to 355 days per year of sunshine. So the fact that we don't have solar energy in particular as the primary, what we would call source of energy generation, is really a bit of a travesty. And the lack of penetration of household solar is actually also what we would call a policy deficit. It's a failing of multiple administrations now. So if you look at places like Germany, Germany right now, as well as the state of California, United States, they actually have the reverse problem of what we have. They're generating so much solar power that they're actually charging negative rates. So they have a problem because the utility providers now don't know what to do. They have excess capacity, but obviously that means if they have debt finance, that gives them an issue. So they're literally dealing with a different set of problems, which, depending on your perspective, would be good problems to have. So
I would like to have that problem.
Right. So that's literally, so when you take a look at some place like Germany, which has nowhere near our level of sunshine, and the fact that they're actually producing excess solar, that tells us that we're literally too far back along the transition line for solar power in particular.
Despite all the sunshine, it seems like we're in the dark ages.
Indeed.
What is BPL's current status on energy generation and distribution?
Well, I think that right now we see that obviously BPL is attempting to continue to be a generation monopolist, or at least control generation monopoly. And I think that that's actually poor policy, that's poor strategy on behalf of BPL, and it's really poor strategy on behalf of, again, multiple administrations. We need to get to the place where BPL is really much more focused on being a distribution monopoly, right? They should continue to own the distribution assets, but allow the market to give us solutions around how we get more energy, especially cleaner renewable energy, done.
We understand that BPL has legacy costs, and that's fine. There's going to have to be a penalty to pay, and we're already paying in the form of what we would call the fuel surcharges and dirty fuel that's already wreaking havoc to an extent on the environment. So let's go ahead and just bite the bullet, and let's transition towards a more open market kind of what we would call energy generation perspective. More competition in the generation space, not allowing special interests who have always had control over certain things. They have control in the power generation, then we have special interests having control in fuel and even, right? So we bring fuel into the country and only certain set of people are allowed to bring in fuel. All of that adds to our costs because every single thing that we do, whether we're flying planes, whether we're driving cars, the delivery companies, all of them have to bake in the cost of these special interests having a stranglehold on our energy situation.
And so opening up the market, like you said, to other private entities, to other firms, what does that do for us? Once again, how does that impact us on our day-to-day?
Again, appropriately dealt with competition. Appropriate competition allows us now to see the benefits of what really is happening in the market. It allows new innovations to come in. So again, let's take for instance, I'm not the biggest fan of electric car technology. I think that there are a lot of flaws there, and I think that there are a lot of privacy and safety concerns. But for a country that, again, is a country that sees nearly 350 to 355 days of sunshine a year, how many charging stations do we have around the country? Pretty much none, right? But again, the special interests, what we would call energy monopolists or energy oligopoly, pretty much has really, along with their partners in other different industries, particularly even in the vehicle industry, we are just now seeing innovation, right? So we're at a place where we don't really have an infrastructure program, an infrastructure strategy that says, let's make our country a place where we can actually see the benefits of technology, see the benefits of innovation. We're allowing people literally to make outsized profits off of keeping our country back.
If we make this jump in innovation, if we make this step towards using renewable energy, if we do all the things that we feel we should be doing with our power generation and distribution, what does the Bahamas then look like? What does that do to our costs? What does that do to our economy?
You're talking about the cost of living going down, and if we look at the average person right now, energy costs, both for transportation and for living, in terms of electricity, are a significant part of their monthly expenses. When we look at the cost of doing business, the cost of electricity, again, is a significant part of the cost of doing business. Another thing that's extremely important is the cost of energy also determines what you would call set of businesses, the set of industries that are feasible in your country. So right now, there are a number of industries that, because of their energy intensive nature, and being energy intensive isn't always a bad thing, based on, are you able, based on the energy intensity, to put out a product that has higher value? A lot of those industries that we should be able to have, we don't have. So for instance, light and medium manufacturing should be a lot more expansive here. Because if we were producing solar power, right, with the kind of what we would call efficiency gains that we've had, especially over the last decade, with how effective solar panel generation is becoming, we should see a lot more light and medium manufacturing. We don't see it, again, because we have the stranglehold of special interests in particular, holding our energy costs at a particular level, and that's literally feeding their pockets while it's draining everybody else's.
Well, and all this sunshine out there, like we said, we got all this light around us. It seems like we're living in the dark ages, but we appreciate you shedding light on the Electricity Act. This conversation can go so much further. We're going to have you come back on to dive in. But the perspective that you give, I appreciate that. And this vision of us, the cost of living going down, man, we got all this energy around us. We got to utilize it and harness it for the good of the people. I appreciate your perspective as always, my brother.
Indeed.
Appreciate you being here on the show.
Indeed. Thank you. And again, not just about the cost of doing business. It's also, not the cost of living, but also the cost of doing business. The cheaper it is to live, the cheaper it is to do business, the more opportunities there are going to be for everybody.
We love that. Working for everybody, right?
Indeed.
Appreciate you being here, brother Karlos.
Thank you, Mark.
As always, you learn so much. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Focall Holdings Limited is proud of its consistent growth and the financial success it continues to bring to many Bahamians who invest in the company. Focall is committed to ensuring optimal financial performance for its shareholders. Focall's leadership remains focused on superior customer service and operational excellence across all sectors. Focall. Get ready for the first ever Turks and Caicos Islands Business Outlook, June 7th at the beautiful Beaches Resort. Our theme is opportunities for growth and inclusion for all TCI stakeholders. Don't miss the keynote address by Premier the Honorable Charles Washington Missing. Join discussions about tourism, infrastructure, and housing. Join thought leaders from various sectors to discuss the future of TCI's economy. Network over lunch and seize opportunities for growth. Register now at tclevents.com and secure your ticket for this groundbreaking event.
Well, it has been such an informative show today. I think this was a great way to get your Monday started. I hope you're feeling smarter about so many current affairs and exciting developments that are happening in the country.
Yeah, feeling optimistic about this week, feeling all charged up. Just talking about that segment, that sunshine that's out there. It's going to be a little hot today, but just think of yourself as a solar panel, taking in that sun and taking that energy and putting it back out there. So let it drive you throughout the week, and we'll see you on Friday. And be nice to people. It's hot. So be nice to somebody, right?
Absolutely.
Buy someone a cold water. It's a nice cold coconut water. Support the coconut water, fellas, man. It's way God. We appreciate y'all. See you on Friday.
See you Friday.
Water.